Well, hello, and welcome to Season 4. This is the first stream of the new season. Quick sound check. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. So today's race is a bit of a different approach for us at eSeniors. It's a fixed car race, so it's still an open race. Therefore, drivers can invite guests. But the idea today is to see how people fare in the Mercedes AMG around Barcelona. But it's a very, very full grid. I think we're looking at 37 cars at the moment. So you can imagine the start in that first corner is potentially going to be a bit of chaos. So the temperature, track temperature is 36 degrees and the air temperature is 27 degrees. No chance of rain, a very, very sunny, warm day in Spain. So qualifying's just started. So what we'll do is we'll switch across to qualifying. Hi Don, thanks very much for confirming. I've had a few technical problems, to be honest. Before rebooting my PC, I started getting some really bizarre things happening for no reason. It's been fine all day. So hopefully it'll stick with us and we'll get the stream done and we're good to go. So yeah, 37 drivers. I mean, it's not the most we've had. We've had 45 recently and I think 44 on last Monday. So they are certainly challenging, the starts, getting the starts right with that many cars. It only takes one person early on the first lap to cause a problem with that many cars, and it's very difficult to avoid them. Hi Derek. Hi Nico. Sound level and loud and clear. I prefer the helium voice though. I don't have any helium, Nico, but you never know. My microphone might play up again, but I am using a different microphone today. I'm not using a headset. So I'm using a proper streaming microphone, so the quality should be a little bit better than what you had with my headset, although it's a good headset. So this track, we raced it yesterday in an open race. It's an interesting track. It's got some very technical parts to it, but like Silverstone, it really does not like your front left tyre. So getting the front left tyre to running speed and keeping it there is quite difficult if you're going to push. And if the race is on track or anything like they've been in the last few races, people are going to push. So that's John Saunders going around at the moment. What we'll do is we'll jump on board with John Saunders and we'll go for a lap. Now, I'm not going to name the corners. I will do that in the GT races this season. But what I'll do is I'll explain where he'll probably put the car or where I will put the car, and then we'll go with it from there. Because most of the drivers do take the same angle. So off he goes down the start-finish straight. Be looking to get maximum power down here, getting into the 160 mph area if he can. As he gets towards the bottom, he'll drift the car to the left hand side of the track and he'll brake around the 100 metres if nobody gets in his way. This is a problem on this track. So he's going to brake around the 100 metres, he's going to come in and straight away he's going to get his lap spoilt by another car coming out the pits. I don't know if that'll upset his lap or whatever. Take this one a little bit wide, and that means you can get the power down into the corner and keep the power down. The car will drift a little bit left naturally. If you've got your angles right, you'll be able to power out quite well. You're braking around the bridge, getting the car into the corner, keeping it as close as possible. And as you come into the corner, you start powering out and the car will go wide to the left, or in this case not. Braking about there to get the car steered into the left-hand corner here, and you want to be getting the power out at the peak of that apex so you can swing the car around. Again, he'll cut across to the left ever so slightly here, then stick to the right, brake hard, and either cut the curb or just go around the curb. And as you can see there, he'll go round. Cutting a bit of that corner. That corner is the worst one for track limits. If you cut it, you will get them. And in this one, he'll drift the car around in a coasting manner. Then he'll get the power down halfway around the corner. He'll put the car to the right-hand side. He's braking around the 100-metre marker. Getting the very, very tight apex onto this corner and getting the power down as soon as possible. Again, he'll cut the corner on the left-hand side here. And then he'll ease the car down into the speed to get this corner and get the car to rotate. He'll drift left naturally and he'll brake just before the little curb on the right, cut the curb, that's it, into the corner, and he'll brake again to take the curb on the left, keep the car left, and then cut across to the right and get the power down early, and that'll allow him to take a very, very quick exit onto that lap. So let's see, I think we're looking for a 1:45.4 for pole. So let's see what he managed to do. He managed to do a 1:46.1. Now, bearing in mind, I do believe the first part of his lap was spoilt there. So let's go on board with Mr. Rogers, who's coming halfway through his lap. He's currently 6/10 up on his best time, so this is looking like it's going to be a 1:45 lap. Actually, Steve Crossland's just done a 1:45.7. Hi, James. Yeah, I think you're right there, Nico. I think most of the drivers who drive it day in, day out, it should be second nature to them on this track, really. Your Chris Bournes and that, because they're the guys who really use this car a lot. I mean, Andreas must know this car intimately. He must know every single nut and bolt on the car. So Mark Rogers has spoilt his lap, so he's not going to gain anything there. But the man on a mission at the moment who is going for pole is John Saunders. He's 8/10 up. He's halfway round as it stands. He's 8/10 up. He's looking at a 1:45.3 as it stands. Now, if he can gain a little bit more, he will get himself in pole. But Steve Crossland is having something to say. He's gonna be very, very close. So these two are going to be pipping for the pole position here. Steve Crossland with a 1:45.7. He's lost 3/10 there, John. That's kind of put a bit of a kibosh on it because Crossland is absolutely flying. Steve Crossland. So Steve Crossland's going into the 1:45.1s now. He's just lost some time there. Hi, Maverick. He's gained a bit there, John, but it's not enough. And I think we're going to see Crossland fly across the line with a 1:45.3. So he's going to be a 1:47.4 here. 1:45.5. Crossland's lost a lot of time. This is going to be close. I still think Crossland's going to get it. But only just. He's lost a lot of time. He's going to get a 1:45.3 here. And there we go. So they're the two fast guys at the moment. They're the only two in the 1:45s. Let's go down and see how another person from Down Under's doing. Gunther. So he's currently 1 second up. His best is a 1:48.3. So he's going for a 1:47.3. And that will move him up 12 places. So it'll half his current position. And he's going even quicker. He's now 1.2 seconds up. So he's now looking at a 1:47.1. And that'll put him just on the brink of the top 10. Now he's going to be in the top 10. He's absolutely flying here now. 1.6 seconds up, 1.7 seconds up. So he's looking at a 1:46 at the moment, by the looks of it, if he can keep this up. And that's going to put him within the top 10, I should imagine. Although saying that, a couple of quicker guys have now jumped into the top 10, where he's looking at a 1:46 flat. This could put him in the top 5. Let's see where it goes towards the end. 2.3. There's a 1:46 flat. Yeah, he could be in third place here. Oh, he's lost a bit of time there. I think he's going to be in the top 10, but I'm not too sure he's going to be in the top 5. He'd lost a bit of time there. So let's see where this puts him. It puts him in 4th place. What do I know? What do I know? So who do we think is going to win this one? You've got to say usually the usual suspects, but as I found out with this malarkey, sometimes things happen and the usual suspects don't end up doing any good. So yeah, let's see where that goes. I'm going to jump on board with Neil Bywater. So not seen Neil through a lot of the off season. He's come back. He seemed a little bit off it when he first come back, but his last few races he's really been on it again. So he's going for a 1:46.1, 1:46.2 at the moment. So again, that's going to put him within the top 10. I'm hoping Neil's one of the guys I'm going to be able to race against this season and be competitive with. There's a couple of them I'm hoping to. Mr. Bird, obviously, Derek, you're in the chat. David Noble, I'm not sure if he's racing. There's too many names to see. And there's actually that many names I've got to scroll. So I'm not sure if David Noble's in there. I know he's very specific about his car, so he may not be racing. And he isn't. I can't see him in the list. And, you know, I've had a good race with Rhys Wiggins, Craig Holmes recently. And I think, yeah, it's standing out good. Roman Marks looking quick. You know, Laszlo's quick. I'm not sure if Laszlo's Group 1 or Group 2, actually. And, yeah, Mark Christopher, the guy who come up from second place in Group 2, he's quick. Terry Trowbridge we know about. Steve Howells, Terry Howard. You know, there's a lot of drivers that are quick and... I mean, they're in Group 1 for a reason, obviously. Hi, Frank. So, yeah, Neil's managed 9th at the moment. There's no one else up front going quicker. Let's just jump back to Eric. So we're on board with Eric. Let's change the angle of the camera. So we're going to a TV view, and we'll see Eric in his nicely coloured green liveried Mercedes. He's currently 3/10 up. He's going for a 147.3 at the moment. That'll put him a couple of places from where he is. So it will be an improvement if he can keep it going. And you can see there Steve Crossland's just done a 145.2. So he's stamping his authority on that start grid to make sure he's in pole position. Hi, Mikhail. A couple of other drivers out on track at the moment doing well. Boro Belajic, he's 2/10 up. Chris Bourne's 3/10 up. So that surprised me, Chris Bourne, 3/10 up. He's only in 17th at the moment, but we know what Chris is like. Give him a field and he'll go through it. And we've got Mr. Wood racing with us today. Bit of a shout out to Mr. Wood there. He's been very busy, so he's been finding it difficult to fit time in. We've got Eric coming over the line now. No, that's not Eric. That's Andy Goddard. For some reason, it selected the wrong person. So Andy Goddard has gone up to 16th place. Where is Eric? Eric's 4/10 up. Let's go on board with Eric this time. He's in the red and black Mercedes, so I've got completely the wrong colour. So there's that many on the screen. There's 38 cars on track now. It's there's a lot to see, and obviously I've got a lot to scan down. If I had a small screen TV, I'd be in trouble here. At least I've got a 4K, which is kind of helping a little bit, or not brilliantly. That's nice livery, that one. A bit of a matte black, looks like a matte silvery streak across the middle, and then a red effect on the right hand side of it. There are not many people who race this car, but the idea of the fixed car setups races is to allow people to understand the different cars, because everyone picks the same cars. You know, we've got some great races in there. The Jaguar, the Emil Frey Jaguar is one of them. We've got the GT4 Maserati, which has got no ABS or traction control. So you just know that car is going to be chaos and bedlam when it's on track. So Eric's 8/10 up here. That's going to put him into the 146s. And that's put him up to 18th place. 1 place in front of Andy Goddard, who did the lap before him. Again, none of the quick guys up front are currently gaining by, but you're talking 1/10. Quick on the chat there. Not keep the Merc on track, very unsafe for all. It was in the 145s. Yeah, I went out and did a few laps before. I was in the low 146s, but I didn't really have my footwear on, so I didn't really put too much effort into it. I played with the setup a bit. Quickest man on track for themselves, I was going to say, was Uwe Holland, but he's just gone off my timing scale because he's jumped up to 20th. So at the moment, the man at the back who's trying to go faster is Tris Simpson. He's currently 4/10 up. That will move him up, but only just from 38th to 37th, possibly 36th. So Tris is looking to move up here. He's very lucky there. I think he's had to ease off, but let's see how Tris goes. As I mentioned before, Tris is a proper racing driver. He races Ferraris. I don't know if he's doing it this season, but I know I think it was the 488s he used to race, or something like that. And obviously he does all the British tracks, so he knows them all well. And I do think occasionally they all go across to Spa. But I could be wrong there. I've heard them mention it because they have talked about going around Spa. Now, it might have been Tris, it might have been someone else. Just general chit chat. We have fun in the stream, no racing needed, lol. Okay, I'll remember that, Nico, when my stream goes down. As I said, my 4th time for trying to get the computer up and running. In the last, just before this, for some reason it just wasn't playing ball. It was jerking really bad in ACC, and for some reason system interrupts was running at 97%. It weren't happy at all. So I rebooted and then went into ACC, started up Streamlabs, computer froze solid, rebooted, wouldn't come back up, rebooted, eventually come back up, and this is what we're seeing now. So I'm hoping whatever the problem was, the gremlins left the room, was very unhappy with me and has left the room. Yeah, Chris Bourne has gone the fastest with a 145.6. So the man who can has gone and done it, and We had a great interview with him yesterday, and I'm really thankful for that. This is Terry. Terry's coming over 9/10 up, and that's put him into 17th place. That's a great run that from Terry. We've got qualifying's more or less over, so we're getting into the crux of it any second now. We've just got a number of cars still on track, 1 or 2 going wide, but yeah, there's quite a few cars out there. There's a lot of names to go through from a perspective of who is on track, so I'm destined to miss some. So obviously we've still got a few cars coming round. What I'm going to do is go to the intro and be back shortly, and then hopefully we can get the grid walk done. Right, I will attempt to do the grid walk. Well, there's that many cars, I'm going to have to see how many I can get through in 2 minutes 34. So in pole position, in the black and green, is Steve Crossland. In the white is John Saunders. I need to slow that down a bit, otherwise we're going to get lost. And the lovely coloured car there, the pink, blue and white, is David Gerrard. And then Chris Bourne. Just let me try and get this straight. And we've got 2 McLarens. We've got, McLaren Marlboro liveried Mercedes. Birch Pownov and Mark Christopher. We've lost a car there, and that's Mark Rogers. We've got Laszlo Nemeth. The angles of this is really causing me problems. Laszlo Nemeth, Roman Mark, Fraser Ronstance. See if we can get this back again. We've got Borat Belajac, Neil Bywater. I'm just trying to make sure who's who there. I'm trying to work out from that. That's Rostance there, sorry. So yeah, that car dropping out's really threw me a little bit. So that's Belajac there, sorry. Neil Bywater in the other Marlboro AMG, and then we've got the 969 car, which is Steve Howells and Peter Popovich. And then we've got Terry Howard, Martin Bailey, coming around the corner now. I've got to try and keep up with the names. Eric Dont, Andy Goddard, or Jaime as he likes to be known. Uwe Tholen, Andreas Pettersson. No familiar car on there. Billy Stewart, Dimitri Stathis. We've got Terry Trowbridge, Niels Houpier. We've got Andrew Ambro, Jeremy Arabas. We've got Krista Hjort, Kai Schaefer. We've got Mike Dearlove, Melvin Garland. That's a nice coloured Mercedes there. That is Kevin Torrance and Stefan Buckley. And I'm going to end up running out of cars now. Trish Simpson, Andy Lees. Let's just see if I can find out who this is, if it'll let me. Come on, it's not going to let me. I can't scroll down, so I'm just going to have to imagine who they are because I can't scroll down any further. So we've got 3 cars at the back, and what I'll do is I'll go to them when I get a chance and explain who they are. So just bear with me on that one. It was Manuel Sousa, John Collins and Gunther Rowe. So they're the ones at the back. I think Gunther's the one who jumped out the server before because he was in the wrong car. So let me go to the helicam for the start of the race, and we're ready to go. So you can see there's a car missing there. I think that was Gunther. He was in the BMW. I'm not sure whether this was just or before, and he's now switched into the Mercedes, so he's at the back of the grid. Hi, Peter. So usual ghosting going on as people try to get themselves up and running. I'll try and keep the focus on different parts of the track. As you can see there, they're all getting bunched up around there towards the back. So it's going to get really interesting of what's going on towards the back here. There's cars bunched everywhere. It's going to be chaos. We've got 3 cars together there. Let's see where this goes, though. So they'll now be on the limiter until they go to the start-finish, and then off it'll go. And you can see there's still a few cars getting out of position. And that car's off. So it's like, and there's I think there was a bit of a drive-through there. So off we go. So far, so good. There's nothing on the straight. Looking like an incident as it stands. That doesn't mean there's going to be, because we've got the corner coming up now. This has got the potential of being chaos. So far, the front drivers have made it. The midfield have made it. Oh, a bit of a contact there. I think that's Neil has gone off. I'll check that in a second. 2 cars got touchy and went sideways, and I'll just confirm who that car was. That was no, it was. I've got Terry Trowbridge and Kai Schaefer and Andres Pettersson who have gone off. So Andreas is still going. Terry Trowbridge is still going. And Kai's still going. So I'm not sure who the car was that went off. It was Neil Bywater. So I was right. It was Neil Bywater who got hit. It was a very slight touch on the side, but it was enough to take him off. And we've had another incident here. Let's do a bit of a replay on that. So, incident between a couple of cars, Eric, Uwe, and I think there's been a bit of a pile up into this corner. A couple of cars going round. So far, so good. Still looking okay. Can't see anything happening at the moment. Coming into this corner. A lot of late braking. 1 contact. 2, 3. Yeah, there's cars everywhere there. So, yeah, a bit of a contact there as a result of 1 car nudging another. These are the type of things, really, we need to try to avoid. There has been another instance with Fraser and Tris Simpson. And you can see there's a car off track there. That's Mike Dealove, I think, who's off track. No, it's not Mike Dealove, it's somebody else who's actually parked it off track. I can't see if anyone yet has gone to the pits. But maybe they did get themselves going again. But, yeah, I was half expecting a bit of chaos. We have had a bit of chaos. But, look, the field is now stretched out a little bit. Chris Bourne is pulling his lead away. David Gerrard is in second. And I am looking for Mr. Crossland. So what happened to Mr. Crossland? Oh, sorry. It's John Saunders is leading. Crossland's behind him. Chris Bourne's in third. Again, it scrolled off. Hi, Peter. You can see he's getting a really good run. So let's jump on board with... in fact, there's back markers coming up already here. So let's jump on board with Jonathan Wood. So Jonathan Wood is behind David Gerrard here, and you can see he's got a really good grip. But they're already starting to catch back markers up. So that's going to be interesting. There's obviously... Oh no, there's not back markers. I thought there was a back marker before. I must have missaw it. Whoa! Now that was either a glitch or his car took off. But I definitely saw his car lift then. So I'm not too sure what his connection's like there, but he definitely lifted. Now I do have a concern. I'm not too sure whether I say it or not. The server isn't registering pings. Now, the last time it did this, it booted everyone. But I'm not seeing pings on the server. So I'm just going to see if I can change something a minute to see if I can find the ping settings on the server to understand what's going on. No, the pings are not on the server. So there's obviously something wrong with the connection, or there's just too many cars. Let's see where it goes, eh? But his car definitely took off, so there was a connection issue there. John Saunders with a 145.8 straight off the bat. Is he going to get a run? All match car, so it's down to set up now whether you're going to make a pass on somebody. Let's go down to the back a little bit and jump on board with Billy. So Billy's currently chasing down John Collins. He was very close a second ago, but he's just lost a bit of space. We'll see if he can make any gains here. He's in 4/10. I do think he's quicker, and there's Andy Goddard coming back out the pits. Obviously, his race was nulled a little bit. Very, very wide there. He's trying to take Collins. Nearly made contact, but very good driving there from Billy. He realised it. He's now under pressure from Kai behind. So Kai's looking to try and capitalise on that little shimmy to the left he did there to try to avoid that car. He's got himself going again now. So these are the corners where you can make a big, big amount of time if you get the angle into the corners right. You can see how quick he's gaining there, Billy. But John Collins is defending the line. That's the line for the corner. So he's forcing Billy to go around the outside. Now, can Billy do the switch? No, he can't. So Billy's going to have to wait now till he either gets to the top and does the run down and does him on braking, or he's going to have to wait for the straight. You can see he's much, much quicker under braking, although he's getting very sideways. And there goes Kai. Kai's capitalised on that slip. Lost the back end ever so slightly, and it allowed Kai to pass. So now Kai is going to be the hunter and hunting down John Collins. So just let's see how quick Kai goes. Going to jump into another battle. Oh dear. And straight away, he's got his braking point wrong there as Billy. And that's pushed Kai out. So, and there's another car gone wide to avoid because of where that car had stopped. I think that was Manuel Sousa. Okay, yeah, Kai and Billy, bit of a contact there. Let's jump to Steve Crossland. Steve Crossland's putting a lot of pressure on John Saunders here. So like Chris Bourne, John Saunders is one of these guys who just disappears into the sunset. We've obviously got Steve here who can give him a good run. He's just showing his nose to show his intent. I'm there. I ain't going anywhere. Just so you can see exactly what's going on. You can see Chris Bourne coming round with Gerard behind him. And then it looks like they've lost Jonathan. In fact, Jonathan Wood's gone wide and Merche's passed him. So Merche's nassed Gunther. They did make contact. It was a brush from side to side, but you can see that front car, Fraser's car, has got a damaged bonnet. So I would imagine he's going to struggle with speed on the straight. So let's go to the helicam of this one just so we can see what's going on. So these are very, very close. So the one in front is the one with the damaged bonnet, and that's Fraser Rostance. He's being followed by Gunther O, Andrew Ambro, and then the traditional colours that Andreas uses, the blue and the yellow colours of Sweden. You can see the speed difference there Gunther's got over Fraser. And he's hit him again, and there's been further contact. Okay, so a couple of contacts there from Gunther on Fraser. Looks like Fraser's managed to keep going. It does mean Andrew Ambrose lost a place and Andreas has gained, but ultimately there will be damage to the car, so we don't know what sort of damage that's going to be, whether it's going to be aero damage or just slight damage to the side of the car. But ultimately, you know, people are getting the braking points wrong there. They're not. You can see now Andreas has got a great run on. He's made a great run on, who is it? I'm trying to work it out, Gunther. Has he got the inside? No, he's not. So Gunther also had a good bit of acceleration there, possibly a different setup, running less aero. So as the cars get to a higher speed, the lack of aero kicks in. But you can see Andreas is looking very, very quick actually. I don't think it's going to be long before he gets Gunther. But Gunther's had a couple of contacts at the front, so he could have aero problems at the front of the car. There's no game audio, Krista. Okay, let me check that. I've got it coming through. I'll increase the volume. Let me know if you can hear the game now. I've increased the game volume, so give us a shout and let me know. No game sound. Okay. Interesting. Let me see if I can figure out why. Alright, you're going to get deafened now, guys. How's that? You should have it now. I've got all the sound registering. Anything? I can't hear the stream, so I can't say. Oh, right, there you go. If it's too loud or not loud enough, let me know, and I'll turn it up or turn it down. Louder, okay? Let me know. We'll go with that. If I hear some, but it's slow. Hold on. So I hear some, but it's slow. Right, I'll turn it right up to full. That's full crank now. I wonder if we can do something in game. Right. Is that any louder? trying to do something in game now to see if that increases things. Not registering as getting any louder. Fine, okay. Right, hopefully that's got that level set now. Right, we have missed out on a bit of an incident here. Let's just go back to see what's gone on. So this was Fraser and Gunther. So Fraser's in front, Gunther's behind. Going around the inside corner. I think it's fair to say that's not the first time Gunther's done that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not. I say it's not the first time in the race he's done that, so we just need to monitor that. Interesting. Let's concentrate on racing, shall we? Stefan is putting pressure on Jeremy, so let's jump on board with Stefan. So you'll see a completely different attitude here now from them guys to these guys. So what you'll see is them braking much earlier than leaving it till later. And that will make a big difference and preventing incidents. I mean, what was happening there, obviously, Gunther's very close to the car in front. I mean, to be honest, the car in front looked like he didn't brake. We've got Niels there trying to come down the outside. Niels wants to be careful. He's looking very aggressive there. It's obviously in a faster car, but you've got to pick your moment when to pass. So Stefan now is chasing Jeremy down. Commentators cares. So you can see now Niels is looking much quicker, but that's the corner where you've got to get it right, otherwise you're both going out. And Jeremy now's caught up with Fraser, so Fraser's car's obviously damaged, and that means that's for position as well, because he's lost so many places. I think Jeremy's going to get him up the inside, and I think we're going to see the same with Stefan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the helicam, because there's obviously a lot going on here at the moment. Jeremy's put the anchors on there, you can see he's just drifting his front end wide. Stefan's going to stay on the defending line here, he's forcing Niels to go. Oh, that was very close. They're all bunching up a little bit here now. We've got Andy Goddard, really of the party, he is a lap down, where he is at the back, he's looking a little bit quick as well. But you can see there's a couple of cars here, Torrance and I think it's Rostons, who are at the front of this. We are with Stefan, so that's Triss in front of him. No, it's not. Triss is in front of Jeremy. So Triss is the one chasing Fraser down. Let's just make sure. It's because all the liveries are the same. I'm trying to work out who's who. I've recognised a couple of the liveries, but there's 3 or 4 cars with the same livery. So you can see Fraser's bonnet's definitely up, but I would imagine Triss will get him at the right time. You can see he's much quicker under braking as well. Oh, he's hit the curbs quite a lot. Mercedes is good over the curbs, don't get me wrong, but if you hit the curbs wrong, it'll just fling you up into the air, and you'll lose so much drive. Let's jump back to Billy, because Billy's having a good race here. He's still trying to defend from Niels. So Niels in the bluey grey Mercedes is coming up behind Billy, but he's not going to make it. He's trying. That'll be again, difficult move to make that. You've really got to have the driver on board to let you pass. Oh, he's sliding that round the corners. Oh, was that contact? 2 cars gone off, 222. That was Jeremy, I think, was it? No, it wasn't Jeremy. I'm trying to work out who. Oh, it was John Collins. Oh, what's gone on there? What has gone on there? That was a biggie. What happened there then? A couple of cars come into contact and cars went off everywhere. So I'm on board at the moment. I'm following Niels, because Niels was involved in that, but I don't know whether he was party to it or was invited to the party, shall we say. So you can already see there's a car loose here at the bottom. That's either Simpson or not. They're coming through. He's up the inside. So far, so good there. Stefan's in front of him. Oh, he's just gone into the back of Stefan. Stefan's gone off very, very fast there, and he gets away scot-free. So where's Stefan gone? Stefan, I can't see Stefan. So Stefan looks like just quit as a result of that. That was a big impact by the looks of it there. So yeah, Neil's really got that wrong, and he's put him right down towards the back. Andy Goddard's gone off. As you can see there, he's spun. He's stationary. He's having difficulty with the car. I'm going to jump forward now to Laszlo. So Laszlo's putting pressure on Roman Mark. Well, I was racing with Roman. He was in the McLaren at Silverstone. Really good race. Really good race. Showed a lot of respect. Never went for the move that wasn't on, but put his car in really good positions. What I mean by that is when he was setting himself up for wanting to go somewhere, he was making his intent known early, which if you're in front and you know someone's prepared to do something, it just puts you into that mindset that they may, and you can be prepared for it. So, you know, he's quick. I wouldn't say he was aggressive, but what he did was he allowed me to understand what he was doing, so there was no surprises, and I think that indirectly is a sign of a driver who's thinking about what they're doing and giving signals to the driver in front what their intent is, rather than leaving it as a surprise. There's no close battles going on at the moment. Niels is catching up Andy Lees, and Andy Lees is also in the same colour car as the others as well, so that's 4 cars I think in that goldy brown silver livery. I'd expect Niels to pass him here. Well, I think Niels was definitely guilty of that contact with Stefan. That was quite an impact there as well. And this is one of the problems when you've got the fast drivers at the back on a difficult track. They're going for things that sometimes aren't there. I think, yeah, it's see, he's very close there. One slight move, he hits the bumper. Both cars are potentially out, but he's the one who's going to be probably staying on track as a result of it. Yeah, I've got a feeling Stefan's going to join the chat now, rather disappointed. Thing is, we replayed it, we saw it, you know, we have a very good idea what happened. He just didn't brake. Consequently, Stefan ended up paying the price for that. So what we'll do is after the race, I'll message Niels and just say, you know, he's quite aggressive going through the field with some of the Group 3 drivers, and he's got to realise that the Group 3 drivers don't drive the same. So, you know, sometimes you can't sit right up the jacksie. You've got to pick your moment and almost work with the driver in front, otherwise you're going to get instances like that. And in this example, Stefan, you know, paid the ultimate price. So it's unfortunate for Stefan that, because he's getting down to being a really consistent driver, and he's gaining speed every time I see him. But it'd be nice to see him get through the field as well. Still got 35 cars on track anyway, so you know it's far from over. You can see now he's trying to pass John Collins, so you've got another back marker. He's sat right on the bumper. He doesn't know the back marker, what his style of driving is, and that's very easily could have been contacted then. And again, he's going to brake late into this corner, I would imagine, because Collins will brake early, and it only takes a twitch of the back of the car from Collins and he's getting hit there. So, you know, he's twitching there to tell Collins I want to pass. Now Collins is racing, he's got his right to do that, and that's all Niels had to wait for, was that little I've outbroke myself. He's passed him clean, no incident, no nothing. And you know, sometimes just waiting for that opportunity. Drivers under pressure are more likely to make faults and make mistakes rather than they are. The thing is, Nico, I know what you're saying there, but they've all known about this car and the track. It's not been new to them, so you know, people can practice. I mean, I went on before. Triss has gone off. Where's Triss? Oh, that's Triss there. He's back up and run again, but I think he had a bit of a mistake. And he's now back with, no, that isn't Triss actually. Where is Triss? Oh, it is Triss at the front. Just like saying Andy Goddard's behind him, but he's not. Obviously Andy Goddard we know is in the green car. So that's Fraser, who's just passed him, and Billy. So I think Triss has got a bit of a problem there. And now Melvin's coming up to him. So Melvin's in 27th, and Melvin's looking to pass Triss as well. Melvin had a great race yesterday. I think he qualified in 12th and finished in 12th. Actually, I think it was 11th because the guy in front of him got a 30-second penalty. You can see there, Triss has got problems with his car, hasn't he? Let's just jump on board with Tris to see what problems he's got. Is it a power problem? Steering wheel straight. Is this car accelerating well? You can see how quick Melvin's pulling away there. Yeah, I think he's got performance problems with that Mercedes. Whoa! That was a bit close, shall we say. I'm going to jump on board with Steve Howells. Steve Howells is chasing down Borut Belajic, and he's been gaining quite quickly actually. So I'm not saying this is a done deal yet, but it's this time of race now where if you've burnt your tyres up early on, you're going to be fighting with the car in the corners, and you're going to have to brake in very early to get the car to turn in. And what you might start seeing is cars now understeering as the wheels don't want to stick to the track. Hi Jorgen. Got a drive-through for car 712. That is Laszlo. So Laszlo's got a drive-through for track limits. So at some point Laszlo's going to have to serve that. That is going to drop him down a good number of places, unfortunately. Hamilton is still having trouble trying to catch and get up with Belajic here. Yeah, he's trying to do the good old switcheroo there. Got the rotation, and it looks like we've now got Mark Rogers behind. And as we know, Mark Rogers is a very quick driver. Taking some good angles into these corners. Oh, that one's in front's just gone a little bit wide there. You could get a really good run here. Don't want to go around the outside, you'll be on the sand. And Rogers did go on the sand. I'd have been tempted to stick to his bumper, then put the power down. You'd probably get a good run on him as a result of the slipstream down here. I don't know if he's going to get enough now. Boris just put the car to the right ever so slightly just to try and tempt him away from it. Boris having to work with that car. You can see he's fighting with it like there's no tomorrow. I think his tyres have gone, because he's really fighting with that car. When he came into the last corner, you could see he couldn't get the car to stop, and as he went into that corner, the back just didn't want to stay in line with the front. That's close. Well done, Steve. He knew he was going to hit, so he just pulled off to the right ever so slightly and kept his brakes on there to stop the contact. Yeah, Boris braking very early. He wants the car to get into the corner as soon as possible there. But this is where the action is. This is where we're going to see the next pass. There's a couple of other cars close. Kai's caught up with Melvin. But again, it's a very similar battle to this. Just let me know, is the stream still running? Because I've just got a circle spinning at the moment. It tells me it's still... It shows me on the screen it's still running, but obviously I can't see what you're seeing. I'll do a refresh on my screen and hopefully that'll tell me, because that's nothing to do with the stream itself, so let me do that, and then hopefully it's still going. Second, yeah, it's still going. Good. Battle for P2. Yeah, see Chris Bourne's caught up, so let's go to the far chase cam and have a view from outside. I like this view because this view gives you the view down the road, and you get to see the braking points of all the cars when they put the brakes on. So it's quite a good view, this one. It's good at night as well because obviously you can see the cars better. You can see now Chris is all over Steve. Steve's gone deep. I think Steve's tyres have gone. Chris has saved his tyres. You can see the drive difference completely there. Chris is now hunting John Saunders. Crossland's not going to give this in, I could imagine, but we're going to see Chris now closing on a... He's 1.5 seconds behind John Saunders. Let's see if he closes that gap down a little bit. I'm just going to jump back again to the Rogers-Howells battle. Let's go to here so we can see all three cars. I'll keep an eye on that time. Chris is closing the gap. But we've now got Mark Rogers, Steve Howells and Borut. Borut's give up there. He's backed out, realising the two guys are faster than him. Again, that's another sign of a decent driver. You know, if you can't race them, don't block them and let them get on with it. Run your own race. It's so obvious sometimes the driver behind you is much quicker. and it's more likely to be detrimental to your race. It's called trail braking, Nico. It's trying to find the optimum to keep the car moving. This is a battle that's been going on for a number of laps, and it's going to go back a position because Terry Trowbridge is now putting Eric under pressure. You can see Eric's car's battered a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see if Terry's got the performance on the straight. And in front of Eric is Martin Bailey. So we'll see just if there's a performance difference between the two cars. Because Terry's car looks pristine. It looks like he's not even hit a stone, let alone a car or a wall. Yeah, braking nice and early to get the car into the corner. That'll give him a good drive out into the next corner so we can get the power down early. Yeah, problem is all the drivers in front did it as well. You can see now the back end of that car in front just started to switch a little bit. It's give Terry a little bit of ground to catch the. That Eric's car does look like he's struggling with his tyres a bit as well. The turning he's getting isn't. The car looks like it's not responding to the turning. It's almost like he's got to try and move it in angles. It's like he's using a game controller. Find out now his wheel's broken. He's using a game controller. The power on, so you can see that they're using the trap. So that's where Terry's really quick there. He's gaining a lot of time, but he's just not got the setup to get into that area there to pass the cars. And you are looking for a mistake. And when you look in your mirror there, the cars loom large behind you, and you think, "Crikey, they're going to hit me! Crikey, they're going to hit me!" But they don't. Chris Bourne's within a second now. Just going to jump to another battle, which is going on. Is Terry going to get him here? He's going to get a good run out. No, I don't think he is. Just jump back to this battle. Got a couple of cars here. So we've got Terry Howard in the luminous green Mercedes. We've got Andrew Ambro, and we're currently on board with Laszlo. So Laszlo's just hit the sand there. So Laszlo's already had a drive through. And he's still in 20th position, so Laszlo is obviously doing really well. He's lost a lot of time there, but Andrew Ambro's doing really well. You see his car's got a bit of contact as well, and that was earlier on, I think, in one of the incidents with Rostenson Gunther, Rostenson Rowe. That Mercedes behind Laszlo is absolutely flying. I mean, Laszlo's a quick driver, so I would expect him at some point to put pressure on these guys. See there, Laszlo's car's pristine as well, so he's going to have maximum drive on that car. Got 11 minutes to go. The lead at the front is 8 tenths. I'm getting keeping an eye on it. Chris is gaining on John Saunders. In fact, jumping to it. Chris got a great drive out that last corner. You can see. Now the problem they've got here is the back markers are coming. Now there was no back marker that caused that instance, and you can see there Chris is really with him now. I'm wondering whether John Saunders' tyres have gone and Chris's has saved his. Because Chris is definitely quicker, you can see it, definitely quicker. And they're now coming up to that's Manuel Sosa in front. And you can see Crossland's back in the picture now behind Chris. So Crossland's tyres have probably had a chance to cool down. And if Sue's going to get in the way, I don't think he is. Yeah, he's moved over. See, brilliant driving again there, Manuel. Just getting yourself out of the way and leave the two guys at it. The next car in front of them is John Collins. It'll be interesting to see where they catch Collins and whether they can actually make the pass. Now Crossland was lucky there. That would have been a track limits, I think. This is where the battle's at. Very difficult to keep focus on all the cars because there's that many. David Gerrard's not far behind either. He's just behind Crossland. So front guys, there's actually only 2 seconds between them, which is quite astounding this late on in the race. And the catching up Collins just in the wrong area. This is a slow area. Oh, he's cutting across Collins. Again, that's sensible. He's realised he's going to cause a problem there, and he's bailed. That's right, Nico, it is mind games. He lets you know. He plays with you as well. Oh, there's been a bit of contact towards the back. Oh, that's a big one. I wonder if we can see a replay of that. Just let's see what happens. So Billy's coming back on track, I think you can say. Actually, I'm trying to work out whether that was Jeremy who's come across back on track. Oh, right. Whose car there? Let me go to the TV camera. 88. Oh, they're very, very similar. I think it was Jeremy who's come back across track there. Could be wrong, but it could have been Jeremy. Anyway, back to Chris Bourne. That's Chris Bourne, and let's go to the chase cam. Not giving up. See the cars in the front have just gone wide a little bit, just kicking up a bit of dust. So that means they've also going to have tyre problems. One looked like it was Andy Goddard and Andy Lees. So again, the catching just at the wrong time, as this is a difficult section to get out the way of because of the curbs. Chris is just waiting, and he's just waiting to get that movement right onto the straight, and he's going to pounce. Oh, that'll be a track warning for John. That was very, very wide. That's going to give Chris a run here now. So I would expect Chris to get a really good run. Saunders' car's quick though. Chris is quicker. He's just showing his nose. He's got the toe. But the two guys in front managed to stay out of trouble there, which is quite astonishing because they must have been just as quick. Chris is really trying. He's touching the brakes all the time to get the car around the corner at maximum speed without drifting too wide. So this is going to be interesting. Both cars in front, are they fighting position? They are fighting for position. No, they're not. Andy Goddard's gone off. I don't know if it's deliberate or he's just decided to bail. But we've now got Andy Lees in front of these two. I'd expect Andy Lees here to go left and let them go if he realises. There you go. Not that I can tell you what he's going to do, but that's the gentleman driver he is. Catching again. This section is really quick. He seems to keep the car balanced really well, so we can get the power down and maximise it. Steve Crossland's still behind, and Gerrard's still behind Crossland. And then we've got a great big gap between them and Jonathan Wood, and Jonathan Wood has taken Mark Christopher. Merch has dropped down a couple of places, and Peter Popovich is now chasing Merch down. So we'll see how this goes, and we'll switch it over again if we need to. 6 minutes left to go on the race now, as it stands. We've still got 35 runners. A couple of the guys at the back are now pitted and are in the pits. Obviously, hopefully there's going to be apologies later, proper apologies, and none of this people saying I'm just going to say sorry for the sake of saying it. That's a topic we'll discuss, so we won't go there. Saunders is quick though, guys. You know, you're saying there Chris is quick. John Saunders is a quick racer as well. See the difference in the braking. That does tell me John's tyres are really screaming. So Chris must have a way of preparing his tyres so he can race full out for a good proportion. Or he takes it easy, knowing full well he can push towards the end, as he's become very quick towards the end, but so's Crossland behind him. I think Crossland's tyres have... I think Crossland had burnt his tyres up a little bit. Because he's backed off a few laps now, it's given the ability to push again. It's how far you can push, because they won't last forever once they've already hit that top limit, if you like. And it's so quick through there. Power will be down. Saunders is seeing massive in his mirrors there, isn't he? Absolutely. And look at that. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm still here. I'm going nowhere. Great drive out that corner. Great drive. Saunders knows he's there. Absolutely knows he's there. And I bet you all Chris has done is used the aggressive setup, got the tyre pressures to his liking and gone out in the car. I bet he's done nothing else, possibly moved the wing down a little bit to give him a bit more speed. But other than that, I bet he's done nothing to it. Oh, that could be a problem for Saunders. He's gone onto the sand. That's going to be advantage, Mr. Bourne, now. I think he's going to get him on the inside here. If he stays in his draft, which he's doing this time. This is now looking... Oh, I thought he was going to go for it. That was close there. Chris is obviously aware his car's not going to stop in time, so preferred to keep the battle going rather than throw it away. Crossland's now involved in this battle as well. He's only 4/10 behind, so he's waiting. He's just gone deep there, Crossland, though, and he's gone off. That means Gerard is going to take him, and David Gerard is now 3rd place on the podium. He's sat there, he's waited, and I think someone said, you're waiting for someone to make a mistake. And there they go, there's the mistake. So they're now caught up Tris Simpson. So again, these guys are absolutely flying. They're going through back markers like the Swedes. Tris has moved out of the way, he's going to let them both go. Again, good drive in there. Got that corner nailed, hasn't he, Chris? Just needs the run out on the straight to be a little bit quicker, and then he can really put John under pressure. John's really struggling getting the car to stay on the track. You can see it's drifting more than Chris, and on that last corner he's really going wide and hitting the sand. Yeah, this very, very close here now. Very close. This is a drag race. This is all about wing. Is Chris going to make it? Is Chris going to make it? Saunders is all. How close and painful is this? Saunders had his foot through the floor then. Come on, faster, faster. They're not giving up. This is relentless. 2 minutes to go. So they're going to get 2 more laps in. So can Chris do it? Saunders is really struggling, isn't he, now? You can see Chris has got so much pace. And, in fact, David Gerard's catching them now. Crossland's gone off the boil now. I think Crossland's killed his tyres. He's 3 seconds off the pace. He probably needs a bit of a miracle to come back into this. Managed to pull away a little bit there. Watch how quick Chris pulls into it though, and then gets him under braking. They're right up his bumper at this point now as he goes into the braking zone. And then we go again. Look how close he is to the curb, Chris. His car's just sticking to the road. Power down as well. Oh, he's got a good run here. This is a very good run. He almost needs a slingshot here. Oh, he just got a bit of a shake there. He needs to get a good toe, get the car pulling him across in the momentum, and then pull out at the last minute. Hi Stefan, we did see it, we did a replay. Yeah, I think if you watch the replay and just follow that one car, it'll tell you a story. Unfortunately. one lap in. Oh, is this the last lap actually? I'm not sure whether this is the last lap. I didn't see it come up with anything on the screen. It could be the last lap. Could have completely missed it. It is. It'll be the last lap, won't it? It's a great race, considering Chris said yesterday he doesn't know if he's going to race because of his wrists. And he's struggling with his wrists. Chris flashes hazards now. He knows the race is won. That was brilliant racing by them two guys. Let's just jump back and watch a few other cars cross the line. Jonathan Wood finished in 5th place. He's coming over now. And then way behind him, when he was only a second behind, is Mark Christopher. But I wonder if the traffic's played a part on that, because he's obviously got a lot of traffic to get through there. And we've got Roman Mark just behind that. And we've got Peter Popovich, who's had a very, very clean race, very good race today. Merch dropped a few places, but still had a good clean race. Mark Rogers was on fire early on, then lost a bit. Steve Howells, again, very good finish for Steve, that 11th. Boric Belichick, he's had a good race. You can see his cars. You can tell by the cars on Mark whether there's been any battles. Again, another clean car. Another clean car. Eric, his car was slightly battled. Terry, his car was spotless. Uwe Follen, his car's looking okay. I think Andreas is behind him. Has got a dented bonnet because of an incident early on, which he wasn't the instigator of. These three guys are going to go over the line more or less together. Yeah, and there's Laszlo, got Dimitri, and Kevin. So Kevin's coming round. And a really colourful coloured car there. Drifting it round the corner. Got Niels, who's had one or two incidents, it's fair to say. Like Dearlove, Kai, Melvin coming round. Had a clean race. And then behind him, Andy Lees, who's already finished. So, yeah, good race. Sorry for the guys who got took out. And ironically, Stefan, one of the names you said to me is all I'm going to say. So I'll leave it at that. And thanks very much, guys. If you haven't already, just click like, and if you haven't already, click subscribe. So this is an unofficial race. It was just again a bit of a test stream. We had issues with the sound. Hopefully, I've got that sorted now. So take care, and thanks very much.